This is the College Football NIT tournament simmed in College Football 26. Earlier this week, I put together the College Football NIT tournament, which is essentially a secondary college football playoff for teams that didn't make the top level college football playoff as a replacement for kind of the dead bowl season that we have right now. And if you want to see all the rules and methodology and all that kind of stuff, we'll put the card right up there so you can check it out before you watch this video, or I'll have it at the end of the video as well if you want to watch why we put these teams together, the methodology, and kind of everything that goes within that. But we did make a bracket for the 2025 season, which you'll see on the screen now, and we're going to sim through this bracket. Those first 4 games that you see on the side are play-in games, which I won't show you because we got a lot of games to show you, but we will sim through every other game and have highlights, at least one highlight from all of those games. So buckle in because it is going to be a fast-moving video with a lot of different things going on. So like I said, play-in games, but no coverage. Here are the scores of those play-in games. First, we've got New Mexico and UConn. New Mexico gets the win 16-13 in overtime. They will take on Notre Dame in South Bend in the first round. Then San Diego State, Old Dominion. San Diego State doubles up Old Dominion 34-17. They move on to play BYU in the first round. Houston, Georgia Tech. Houston gets the win 20-3. They take on Utah. And finally, Arizona State, Louisville. Arizona State gets the win. They will move on to take Vanderbilt on in the first round. Now we're going to move to some rapid fire whip around coverage. We did miss the Notre Dame game against New Mexico, but Notre Dame got the win 41-7, so there really wasn't any highlights to show from that game. Notre Dame, our number 1 overall seed, moves on to the second round. But for our first round, we're going to go through each and every game and go through the highlights for those games. Starting in Charlottesville, SMU down 17-13 with the ball, 4th and 7 with just over 50 seconds to go. They get a strike to get them into Virginia territory. Clock is running. They have their very next play, 45 yards down the field for a touchdown. They end up winning the game 20-17, moving on to the second round. Now in Arizona is trailing 13-17. They get a score with 3:50 to go to take the lead 14-13, but Boise State marches the ball right down the field on the road, run it in from 15 yards out. They score and win the game 20-14. They'll move on to the second round. Now, on the other side of the bracket, BYU and San Diego State. BYU runs it in to take the lead 17-10 in the fourth quarter, but San Diego State gets the ball back and matches 17-17 going into overtime after San Diego State scores with just over a minute to go. In the second overtime, after 2 field goals, BYU scores a touchdown on the first drive of the second overtime. They missed a 2-point conversion, but they have the lead 26-20. San Diego State, second and goal on their drive, throw a pick, the flags for holding, but BYU holds on and moves on to the second round. Now to Champaign. TCU down 13-7 on the final drive, needing a score. They throw a pick, lose the game. Illinois moves on to the second round to face BYU. Duke, needing a score to take the lead. They score with 16 seconds to go. They win the game 14-10 at USF. Utah in trouble at the end. 4th and 1 for Houston. They needed to score the go-ahead, and they drop the pass. Utah survives the upset scare and moves on to the second round. Now, a rivalry match with the Battle of the Telephone. Missouri and Iowa State. Iowa State scores 17-10 after Missouri misses a 53-yard field goal with the prior possession to give Iowa State a chance. They score with 20 seconds to go to push the game into overtime. Missouri has one chance to kick another field goal to keep the game out of overtime, and they miss it again off the post. So 17-17, we go to overtime. In the first overtime, Missouri on their first possession, 4th and inches, they decide to kick the field goal. They make it. They go up 20-17. Iowa State, of course, has a chance on their second and goal on their first possession. Out into the flats, Rocco Beck scores a touchdown to the tight end as the Iowa State gets the upset and moves on to the second round. In Seattle, 4:30 to go. Navy's kicking to tie it up at 10. Washington gets the block and returns it 68 yards for a touchdown to take the lead. They end up taking a 10-7 game and turning it into 24-7. They get the win and move on to the next round. We have an upset bid in our next game. In Austin, Miami of Ohio kicks to go 21-20 with 4 minutes to go, just 1 point down. Texas then goes down the field, scores a touchdown. They're up 8 points on the final play. Miami scores a touchdown. They need a 2-point conversion to tie the game. On the 2-point conversion, they throw a pick. The upset bid is lost. 28-26. Texas gets the win. That's our 6-27 matchup, and Texas comes away with the win. Another upset bid on the other side of the bracket. North Texas against Kennesaw State, our Conference USA champion. Kennesaw State kicks a field goal to go up 13-0 with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They end up winning 19-0. Another upset bid. UNLV puts the final touches on their massive upset win in Tennessee. 27-3. UNLV moves on to the second round. And finally, we've got yet another upset bid. Arizona State State against one of our top 4 seeds, Vanderbilt, 17-3. It's not a good day in Tennessee as both of their top teams lose in the first round. All right, so as you can see, we did miss a couple games because there was nothing good to show from that game. Iowa got the win 24-3 over Western Michigan. They move on and will face off against Boise State in the second round after Boise State's upset win over Arizona. Michigan 30-0 over Troy in the 7-26 matchup. They'll move on to face off against Duke in the second round. We also missed the USC Jacksonville State game. That one looks closer than it actually was. USC was up 21-0 in the fourth quarter. Jacksonville State got 2 garbage time touchdowns, but they never had a chance to actually win that game. So USC gets upset winner Kansas State in the second round. And then, of course, we already talked about Notre Dame getting that win in the first game, 41-7 over New Mexico. So we have our second round set. Notre Dame versus SMU, Boise State versus Iowa, Arizona State versus UNLV, Kennesaw State versus USC, Texas versus Washington, Iowa State versus Utah, Michigan versus Duke, Illinois versus BYU. Only 3 G5 teams make it through, with Kennesaw State getting the battle of G5 team winner. UNLV gets the win over Tennessee, and Boise State gets the win over Arizona. We were hoping that USF, who was our only G5 team to host a Power 4 team at home in the first round, would get the win over Duke, but they fell short with that last second touchdown by Duke. To the second round, Notre Dame down 10 to SMU. They get a score to put it within 1 field goal, 17-14. They have the ball driving down with a minute to go. 3rd and 3. CJ Carr throws a pick to SMU, who returns it all the way down to the goal line. They were down 10 points. They had the upset bid, or the comeback bid, on the way, scoring in the end zone, but Jeremiah Love luckily saves a touchdown with 50 seconds to go. Just 2 plays later, SMU has the ball. 2nd and goal, they run it in. They get this win, 24-14, the biggest upset of the tournament so far. Number 17 over the number 1 overall seed on the road. 2 straight road wins for the SMU. They're into the quarterfinal. Boise State and Iowa. Boise State gets a massive sack late in the game to go up 8-3. Of course, this is an Iowa game at Kinnick. Low-scoring game, no touchdowns with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Boise State has a chance to put the game away after the safety punt, but they then get sacked on 3rd and 8 and have to punt the ball away. Iowa with the ball, 3rd and 16 on their own 25, needing a score to go ahead. Not only do they get the first down, they break away to the end zone to get the first score of the game with 30 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. They go up 10-8. Look at the way he breaks this away. He's obviously going to get tackled. 3 guys around him. Little cheesy spin move, breaks it away into the end zone. That is real Iowa football right there. Wait until the very end. Wait until you've got it all going the wrong way, and then find a way to pull it out with the long score. Then Boise State has a chance, 25 seconds to go, 1st and 10. They get a long strike to the 45. They've got 3 timeouts. They take their first one, 19 seconds to go. Another one to the 50-yard line, another timeout. 2nd and 4, 15 seconds to go, and the sack. They have to use one more of their timeouts. 3rd and 9. And the Iowa defense comes through with another sack, putting them away. Of course, it's College Football 26, so you can't get back up to the line. They lose the game. Illinois against BYU. Illinois is up 16-6. They get the final run on 4th down to clinch the game. They get the win over one of our top 4 seeds in Provo. Illinois will move on to the second round. Then we've got Michigan and Duke in a snow game. This is one of our big matchups here. Michigan number 7, Duke one of the top 20 seeds in by virtue of the ACC championship. Michigan really just puts a beat down here, 24-7. 1st and goal with a little over 2 minutes to go. They're putting the finishing touches on this blowout here. Bryce Underwood takes a snap and runs it into the end zone. A little bit of a Fernando Mendoza there. 30-7. Michigan gets the win over Duke and moves on to the second round. To Utah, the last of our top 4 seeds. They're down by 7 with the 3rd and 3, just over a minute to go in the fourth. They get within the 5 on 2nd and goal, just over 30 seconds to go. Devin Dampierre to his tight end to tie it up 17-17. We are going to overtime. Iowa State in the first overtime on their first drive. They get sacked. 4th and 14 from the 29. They have to settle for a field goal. In their previous game against Missouri, Missouri struggled with field goals. Of course, they went for a field goal on their first drive in overtime, ended up losing with Iowa State scoring a touchdown on the second drive. Iowa State puts the field goal in, take the lead 20-17. Utah on their first possession, similar situation, 3rd and 14, incomplete. They now have to kick a field goal from the 29. They get it to go and tie the game up 20-20. We're going to a second overtime. Utah gets the ball, first drive, 3rd and 14 yet again. They run this stupid play to give them a 4th and 17 on the 32. They have to kick a field goal on their first possession in overtime. They get this one to go as well, 23-20, Utah with the lead, but Iowa State gets the ball. They have a chance on 2nd and 9, a strike to the tight end, gets them within the 5-yard line, and then on the very next play, hand it off to the running back. He scores a touchdown. They win the game 26-23 in double overtime. Iowa State is the cardiac kids finding a way to survive. They move on to the quarterfinal. Now, Texas and Washington in Austin. Big Ten SEC matchup, one of the marquee matchups of the playoff so far. Who's going to get the win here? Texas. 21-3, 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They kick a field goal to basically seal it up. 24-3, they get the win over Washington. Move over to the other side, USC against Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State with a chance here. Third and 8, 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, down 7, and they take the sack. That's all she wrote. USC moves on. Now we've got a battle in the desert. UNLV, Arizona State. Arizona State has a 7-0 lead in the third quarter. UNLV with a big run to get them just outside the red zone. They then get a strike on 2nd and 9 for the first down. And finally, on 4th and goal, they decide to end up kicking a field goal here. Get stopped 7-3. Will that come back to bite them in the end? Now, they get the ball with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Have a strike on 3rd and 4 to keep the drive alive. And then on 2nd and 8, with 1:30 to go, they take the lead 10-7. And UNLV looks like they're going to get yet another upset in the second round to move on to the quarterfinal in the Battle of the Desert. They hosted because they were, of course, the higher seed there. Arizona State has a chance. 2nd and 5, they get it down. 4th and 6, game on the line. Throw it up, and incomplete. Knocked it down. UNLV moves on 10-7. They will face off against USC in the quarterfinal. So the quarterfinals are now set. At the top, we've got SMU versus Iowa. SMU, our number 17 seed, making a run through 2 of the higher seeded teams in the tournament. UNLV also is one of our lower ranked teams. They will take on USC in the bottom part of that bracket. Illinois and Michigan on the other side, 2 Big Ten teams facing off for a chance to go to the Final Four. And then Iowa State and Texas, 2 former Big 12 teams, one that's currently still a Big 12 team, facing off in the quarterfinal there. So we have just one G5 team in our quarterfinal. That is by way of UNLV, the number 20 seed in the tournament, the lowest ranked seed that's still alive in the tournament. They're in the quarterfinal with a chance to take on USC. Other than that, we've got 3 teams from the Big Ten, or 4 teams from the Big Ten, 1 team from the SEC, 1 team from the Big 12, 1 team from the ACC, and then, of course, UNLV out of the Mountain West is our lone G5 representative. Let's see if we can get any more upsets in this quarterfinal going into the Final Four. Of course, this is when we move to the bowl locations, so we'll make sure to call those out with each of our matchups. Starting in Detroit, this game should be being played in St. Louis, but we don't have the ability to play in St. Louis in this game. We see SMU up 14-0. Iowa gets the ball, just start the second quarter. They get to the 49-yard line on a nice run there. Looked like they could cut the lead in half, but on the very next play, Mark Gronkowski throws a pick to SMU, already up 14-0. They get the ball in Iowa territory. They get to 3rd and 1 in the red zone. Kevin Jennings gets it down to the 1-yard line on a quarterback keeper, and then the very next play hands it off to Harden for the 21-0 lead. SMU looks to be running away with it. The number 17 team in our bracket here versus the number 8 team in our bracket. They are already 2 upsets in, and they're looking for their 3rd straight upset. Kevin Jennings again to Harden. 28-7 is the final score. SMU moves on to the Final Four as the number 17 seed in our bracket. Now we're going down to Birmingham. This is being played in Protection Stadium in Birmingham. We really wanted to be playing in Legion Field because that's the one that has been forgotten, almost 80,000 seat stadium. But instead we're playing in Protection Field because that's what they have for us in College Football 26. UNLV, USC. USC, of course, is the heavy favorite, but UNLV has a bit of a destiny team in them with being the only G5 team left in the Elite 8. USC is up 14-0. UNLV gets a first down on the 3rd and 6, but really they don't get anything going. Fourth quarter, they're down 21-7. Maiyava to Makai Lemon gets them down within the 5-yard line, and then in the final seconds, UNLV puts the finishing touches on, kicking a field goal. 30-7 is the final score in Birmingham. USC moves on to the Final Four, and UNLV drops out after getting 2 big upset wins to start. Now, This one is being played in the Rose Bowl. It should be being played in the Oakland Coliseum, but we can't get that in the game. It's our Big Ten matchup, Illinois versus Michigan. We'll see if Michigan has been basically dominating so far with two 30-0 lead and a 37 win, and they look like they're going to get another dominant run. An interception in the third quarter puts them at the 10-yard line, already up 28-7 over Illinois. It looks like Michigan's going to run away with this one. Then a few plays later, they hand it off to Justice Haynes. He gets into the end zone, putting the lead to 35-7, a dominant win for Michigan. To San Diego Snapdragon Stadium, formerly Qualcomm Stadium of the Los Angeles Chargers. Now it's the home of the Holiday Bowl and the San Diego State Aztecs. We've got Iowa State, Texas in the old school Big 12 matchup here. Iowa State looking to continue their upset run a la SMU. Texas looking to continue their dominant run a la Michigan. And it looks like Iowa State's got the lead in the second quarter there. Texas gets stopped on third down. It's 4th and inches. They have to kick a field goal from their 36. They get it in 7-6. Iowa State with the lead in the second quarter. Texas gets another field goal to go up 9-7. They then get a touchdown here in the third quarter to take the lead to 16-7 with 2:30 to go in the third. They get another field goal, and then at the end of the game, go for it on 4th and 3. Get the game clinching first down. 19-7 is the score there, and they get the victory over Iowa State. Our final four is set. We've got SMU, the number 17 team in the bracket, making a run through to the final four. They will face off against USC, our 5 seed, just outside of our top 4 seeds. They will face off in Orlando in that one. The other side of the bracket, we've got Michigan out of the Big Ten, Texas out of the SEC. They will face off in Shreveport for a chance to go to the NIT championship game. So 2 Big Ten teams, 1 SEC team, and 1 ACC team in the final four of the inaugural NIT college football tournament. To Orlando for the NIT semifinal presented by Pop-Tart. We've got SMU in the black, USC in the traditional whites. The Pop-Tart Bowl is going crazy. We can see the Mustangs getting ready to go out there. The SMU fans are going wild for their team in their second straight year that they've made it to some kind of a playoff. The Pop-Tart, it doesn't have any pants. The USC team looking focused, looking like the favorite. They've got Mayava, they've got Lemon, they've got Lane, they've got a questionable defense, but so far they have been dominant through the playoff. Can they get the win over SMU, who has been a great team? SMU up 7-0 in the second quarter. 3rd and goal for USC. Throw it to the back of the end zone, incomplete. They're going to have to settle for a field goal in the second quarter there, and they get it to go. 7-3 SMU in the second quarter. Cut to the third quarter, 14-3 SMU, but Mayava gets a big run on the quarterback keeper. 2nd and 10 now, and they get a strike to the end zone. Is that Lemon that caught it there? Yeah, it is. Makai Lemon in the end zone. 14-3 SMU. Now to the fourth quarter, they get the stop on 3rd and 6. SMU does, so USC has to punt the ball away to SMU with under 3 minutes to go and the lead for the Mustangs. But on 3rd and 1, SMU gets stopped. 4th and inches, they decide to punt the ball as they are within their own 35. So just a few seconds go off the clock as USC was able to use all 3 of their timeouts. 2:30 to go, no timeouts left. USC with the ball. On 1st and 10, they get a strike up the seam, get into SMU territory. The clock is running, but they have control of the game. 2 minutes to go, 2nd and 5. Mayava hits Lemon again. He's been killing the field. 14-3. Gets another pass in there. That's to Lane inside the 1-yard line. And on the next play, Mayava, keeper again, gets the score 20-14. USC decides to kick the field goal instead of going for 2. SMU does have time left with all 3 timeouts. 2nd and 8. They get into across the 30. They get another run to get close to the 50-yard line. They've used 2 of their timeouts. 1st and 10, 40 seconds to go. Another strike. They're into USC territory. They need a touchdown to win, though, and they've used all 3 of their timeouts. Here they get another completion. Or that's their final timeout. 3rd and 10 now. This is for the game. And a sack. Kevin Jennings takes the sack. USC gets the win in the Pop-Tart semifinal and move on to the final, where they will await the winner of Michigan and Texas. These guys are playing in Shreveport in the Independence Bowl. Michigan, who has been dominant with their defense all run long. Texas, who survived the scare against Miami in the first round. This is a big boy matchup here. USC awaits, so these are all classic college football teams. Who is going to make it to the inaugural final of the NIT hosted in San Antonio? 9-7 in the third quarter. Texas tries to run it on third down. They get stopped. They have to punt the ball on fourth down. Michigan gets the ball. They get a nice completion on first down with the lead, get the ball into Texas territory with like a 40-yard pass there. Bryce Underwood, then another first down. They're marching the ball down the field, looking to take a big lead, already up 2, looking to push it past 1 score. But Bryce Underwood takes a stupid sack for 11 yards. 3rd and 15, tries to get it down the field, but that one is not going to be completed, knocked away. So they have to settle for a long field goal. They do end up getting this to go here, 12-7 now. So they could have gone up by 2 scores. They keep it within 1 score for Texas. Texas now has the chance to go down the field. Arch Manning into traffic, gets the catch, get into Michigan territory. It's now 3rd and 3. Texas looking to take the lead here by at least 2. They get an incomplete pass on 3rd down. Texas, who has been saddled with field goals all tournament long, decides to go for it on 4th and 3 in the 3rd quarter. They do get the first down there, get it into the red zone, and then a couple plays later on 2nd and goal, they hand it off and get stopped at the 1. 3rd and goal, they hand it off yet again, get stopped at the 1, so they've got to go for it on 4th down from the 2, looking to take the lead. They hand it off for the 3rd straight time, and Wismer gets into the end zone. They take the lead 14-12 in the 4th quarter. Michigan then gets the ball going down the field. Bryce Underwood looking for a long completion, which could really help them out there, and they could have broken it down the field, but instead he steps out of bounds. Another pass from Bryce Underwood on 2nd and 13 gets them inside Texas territory. 3rd and 8 with the pressure bearing down. He gets it off, get into the red zone with just under 4 minutes to go, and on 2nd and goal, they hand it off to Haynes, who scores again. Michigan takes the lead 19-14, but there's plenty of time left for Arch Manning and Texas. 2 minutes to go, 3rd and 9. This is an absolute gotta have it for Arch Manning. They throw short and get 1 yard. They have to go for it on 4th and 8 with 2 minutes to go. Arch Manning tries to go deep and gets the completion, gets into Michigan territory. Could this be the play that they needed to get him down there? 2nd and 10, under 2 minutes to go. Arch Manning with a strike to get him down within the 10-yard line. They're at the 6. 2nd and goal. And he throws a pick. Michigan, whose defense has dominated all tournament long, they have yet to give up more than 7 points. They then get to Texas into the 10-yard line, into the red zone, and Arch Manning crumbles under the pressure with a chance to take the lead, with a chance to get into the first NIT final. He throws a pick to Jashawn Barham, picked off, and Michigan gets the ball. 3rd and 9. Texas still had timeouts. They, for some reason, throw it on 3rd and 9, go out of bounds. So Texas will get another chance here with a minute to go. Texas gets a strike. Arch Manning is going to prove it wrong. He goes inside the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, the very next play. Arch Manning with another strike, get him into the red zone, but he drops it. 2nd and 10. Arch Manning to their tight end. Gets tackled inbounds. Gets tackled in the middle of the field. Clock's running. 3rd and 5. 20 seconds to go. Completion inside the 10, and he gets out of bounds. 15 seconds to go. Now, 2nd and goal after an incompletion on 1st down. Arch takes the sack, and that will do it, folks. Michigan defense shows up big twice in the red zone, and Michigan will win the Shreveport semifinal, moving on to San Antonio, where they will face off against USC in the first NIT tournament final. And here it is. USC, Michigan, no need to set the stage. We already know what's going on in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. 2 Big Ten blue blood teams. USC maybe not so much lately, but USC down 7 in the 2nd quarter. Fumbled. The Michigan defense shows up again. Sack fumble on Jaden Mayava with already the 7-0 lead. The celebration that we've seen before. Michigan is going off. They get the ball. Bryce Underwood is dealing in this NIT. They're being coached by Biff Poggi in this, not Sharon Moore. Incomplete pass on 2nd and 5. 3rd and 5. in the 10-yard line. Bryce Underwood does it himself, gets into the end zone. We've seen him balling out. He has to be the MVP of the tournament, even with the way that the Michigan defense has been playing. Look at this. He's just about to get sacked. Really, the defensive lineman just needs to stick his arm out, and he's got the sack. Bryce Underwood somehow gets in there untouched. They take the 14-0 lead. USC gets the ball going into halftime, 3rd and 14 for Mayava. He's standing in the pocket. He's got a good pocket there. And for some reason, he goes underneath to Jacoby Lane. They don't get anything on that final drive. Michigan gets the ball back. Bryce Underwood could have gotten the first down, but instead he goes to the sideline, gets a completion, doesn't end up turning into anything but a good drive for Michigan at the end of the half. Still up 14-0. They knock away the pass on 3rd and 8. Michigan gets the ball with a strike down to the 1-yard line. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and you know they're going to put that one in there. 3rd and goal. Hand it off to Justice Haynes. Gets stopped again. Michigan has to kick the field goal. 17-0 going into the fourth quarter for Michigan. Should have been 21-0. 20-7 in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 4. They need it. They got it. Or they don't get it. 4th and inches with 2 minutes to go. They decide to go for it. Hand it off to Justice Haynes. And that is the game winner right there. Michigan 20-7 in the championship. We see them kneel them out. They get the inaugural NIT championship in San Antonio over USC in a Big Ten matchup. What a game for Michigan. What a run for Michigan. So looking at our final bracket, I do think that there could be some tweaks to this form. I think that with the play-in games, which a lot of people pointed out in the original video, it gets hard to get the correct matchups because of when we wanted to play the playing games. If we were to do this without the playing games, I think there would be a different outcome. I think Notre Dame might do a little bit better, but I don't know how much that changes things. SMU was a very good team, and as the 1 seed, you're going to have to play. You're going to get a tough team in the second round. Everybody's going to get a tough team in the second round because you're down to 16 teams at that point. So I don't know if it's just a matchup thing with SMU there, but all of our top 4 seeds ended up losing in the first or second round. So there was some tweaking to go around. I do think that USC got one of the easiest paths, having to go through 3 straight G5 teams before they end up playing SMU there. Michigan had probably one of the tougher paths after their first round game, and they still kind of dominated throughout. So who knows how much that changes. Of course, we're playing in College Football 26, so it's based on those ratings, not how teams are actually playing in real life. And of course, Texas and Michigan are very highly rated teams in College Football 26. So there's some things that we could change, but there's also just things that go down to it being in College Football 26. 2 things I want to know. Do you like doing these tournaments? Because on my More Bucky Barracks channel, which this will be released on as well, I'm wanting to do more of these tournaments, not 36 teams, maybe 16, 18 tournaments from playoff, or doing like conference playoffs and different kind of things like that. If you like this form, kind of give me some insight on how you liked how I did it and what you might change. And then, do you think that this NIT tournament would be a success? Again, let me know any changes that you would have to the tournament. I do think that I hear the play-in kind of messing up the straight seeding does kind of add some trouble to it. I like the idea of the play-in, but it might be harder in practice. Maybe just a straight 32 teams would be the right way to do it. Some teams would lose out. All of those teams in the play-in would not get into the tournament. Well, not all of them, but there were a lot of those teams in the play-in would not get into the tournament. So that's kind of a balance thing there, but let me know what you would change and if you like the NIT format. Other than that, thanks for watching that video. Make sure that you like and subscribe and hype the video. It helps small content creators. I'm a small content creator and I could use all the help I could get. If you made it this far, leave a comment and let me know what you think. I've already asked you a couple questions, but let me know if you like my College Football 26, and let me know if you're subscribed to both Bucky Barracks and More Bucky Barracks. We're pushing to get More Bucky Barracks monetized here in the next month, so I could use all the subscribers that I can get. So make sure that you're on that side over there, and comment below if you are subscribed to both channels. If you want to watch more videos, I do have this for you. So I've got the original video that I did there, which is the format and everything to go along with the NIT. Check that one out if you haven't seen it yet. Up here, I've got my original tournament videos, which is the 4-team playoff, but instead it's the 12-team playoff from 2014 to 2023. So check that one out. You can see all the 12-team playoffs we would have gotten if it was 12 teams all along. I do have my subscribe link on this side for my main channel. Up here, I've got More Bucky Barracks. Make sure that you're subscribed there as well. Other than that, we will check you next time. See ya!